Yes, come on in. Doing all right today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
All right. Well, my name is Dameon Cunningham.
Okay.
I'm the social worker here at Family Services of North Mississippi. Have a seat. I see here your name is Mary Jane Smith. Would you prefer to be on a first or last name basis?
First name be good.
Okay, Mary or Mary Jane?
Mary Jane.
All right, Mary Jane. That's good. That's remind me of Spider-Man, Mary Jane and Peter Parker. All right, we are meeting here in my office. This is my office here at Family Services of North Mississippi. Usually I do talk to people around 50 minutes, maybe to an hour, but since this is our first meeting, it may take us longer than that. All right, the purpose of this first meeting is for you to tell me a little bit about the problems you're facing, your situation that's going on. I want you to trust me. I'm here to listen to you. And the more you let me know this, the better I can understand your situation. And I may ask you more questions to kind of clarify what's really going on, that I may be able to better assist you. All right? I know you just met me, but I hope you will tell me more about yourself and your situation.
Okay.
All right? I want you to know that everything that we discuss is between you and I. We do have a strict confidentiality policy. Nobody will know what we discuss unless you give written permission for me to share it with somebody else. Or if I see that there's a danger that you can probably be a threat to yourself or others, then by law I am required to report that. Understand?
Yes.
All right, any questions so far?
No.
All right, if you don't mind, will you sign this confidentiality and consent form? Thank you so much. All right. We can get started. Where would you like to begin today? I see you called our agency. You have a situation that you kind of need help with, an abusive husband. So tell me a little about that.
Well, he has a drinking and alcohol problem. And he's been verbally and physically abusive. And I called the office because, I was trying to seek help. I would like to save my marriage and try and get him some help, but if he's not willing to do that and he can't, accept the things that I'm trying to do to help him, then I would like to see if there's any way that you all could help me maybe try and get out of the situation. I have 5 small children, and it's kind of hard, but I really would like for him to stay in our life, but at this point he's verbally and physically abusive, and I just don't know how much more of it I can take. I don't know.
Okay. Oh wow. How long has this abuse been going on?
It's been going on for about 3 years now.
About 3 years. When you say physically and verbally abusing you, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, he drinks on a daily basis. He drinks sometimes so much to the point that he passes out. And he's always verbally abusive, and there have been times where I've been hospitalized where he has broken several bones, and I've had to stay in the hospital for a while. It's just a continuous thing. I've tried to get him help, and after I was hospitalized, he stopped drinking for like a week, and after that week, it just got worse.
I understand that must be tough for you. When he verbal abuse you or use words to, I guess, put you down, do that affect you?
It does. At first, I didn't feel like it took an effect on me, but it really is. And then the kids, they are afraid to be around him. They love being around him because he is their father, but their behavior and everything, when he starts to drinking, they're afraid of him, and I just don't, I don't want that.
Okay. Has he ever verbally or physically abused your children?
No, he hasn't. Just the abuse that they see, that the older ones see that he does to me. I think that it has an effect on them. And
it must be hard for you to go through that and allow your children to see him do that to you. I understand that. It must be something that's kind of tough to deal with. Okay, now could you tell me, since you said it's been happening for 3 years, the past 3 years, what happened recently for you to call our agency?
Well, the last time, the last straw is when he put me in a hospital and I had a couple bones broken, and after that happened, I called and I had him signed up for this rehab, and he's been to rehab like 2-3 times, and every time he goes, he never completes the program. He always signs himself out, and every time he goes and he comes back, it gets worse and worse.
Okay.
And this last time I called, I just needed, some kind of assistance, some kind of help to kind of get out of the situation.
I got you. How long ago since he beat you and you had to be put in the emergency room, as you said?
Let's say about maybe a year.
A year?
Or so ago.
Okay. All right. So you said he stopped consuming for a week since you. All right. What was that week like?
It was what I imagined, what I would want on a regular basis, on a daily basis.
Okay.
He was kind and he helped with the kids, and he did everything that a father's supposed to do.
Okay. Was he ever like that anytime?
At the beginning, he was at the beginning, and then everything it just went downhill.
Okay. How long were y'all married?
We've been married for about 8 years.
8 years. Okay. And what you're saying, it started off.
It started off good.
Good. Okay.
It did.
Okay. Can you recall what probably caused him to start drinking and maybe develop this type of lifestyle?
I would say having the responsibility probably has a lot to do with it. I can't say that for sure, but I'm pretty sure that, just him having, just having to take on so much responsibility, I just feel like that contributed to it.
I see. Let me ask you, what made you stay with them this long? If it's been going for 3 years, what made you continue to stay with them for 3 years through this abuse and broken bones?
Well, I prayed and I hoped that it would get better, because that's not the person that I met.
Okay.
And I just hoped that one day he would change, considering that we do have 5 kids together.
Okay.
So I was hoping that one day he would, change and come around, and, things would get better.
Okay. So I see you're very forgiving, and you are hopeful that your marriage can work. It seems like you really want your marriage to work. Am I correct? All right. All right. Have you been exposed to this type of behavior before? Maybe growing up in your childhood?
Never.
Okay. Good. I heard you say you prayed about it. Are you big in the church?
Yes, I am. We grew up in the church, and I try to keep that same routine and take my children to church. We go to church every Sunday. We go try to go on Wednesday nights. When I'm physically able. Sometimes I'm just tired. Because I have to basically raise the kids by myself.
I got you. Okay. All right. Is church, because you are big in the church, is that the reason why you're holding on to your marriage?
I think that has a lot to do with it, because that's just what has been raised up in me,
Right.
and that you should do all you can to make it work,
Right.
and do the right thing. So and I just pray that one day he will change. and he decides, to stop. But if not, I just, would like to be able to transition out of it, so that I can start my life and make a better life for my children.
I got it. Well, I do admire your courage to stick in there this long and having the faith that your marriage can work out. Oftentimes marriages do go through things, and it's a sign of strength that you're weathering the storm and want it to be better. And I do commend you on that, and hopefully we can come together, put our heads together, and collaborate, work as a team, and hopefully save your marriage. Save your marriage and do things. So I heard you talked a little about your children. Can you tell me again? You have 5 children, correct? Can you tell me how old they are?
I have a 5-month-old daughter. I have a 3-year-old son, a 6-year-old son, an 8-year-old daughter, and a 10-year-old son.
You got them spread out over the place. Good. How are they as far as are they into sports, active? Or?
My 2 older ones are, but it's kind of hard, because I have the other 3 younger ones, trying to get them back and forth, and with no help, he doesn't help me, get them back and forth to different things they like to do. So we're kind of limited on some of the things that they, are allowed to do because it's just me.
How does that make you feel by being limited on what they?
It kind of makes me feel like I'm a bad mom because I can't seem to find the time to do these things, with them and for them, But I feel if he was more of, assistance to me, and, I think it would be much better for the kids.
So you kind of feel like a letdown to your children?
I do.
Have they ever said anything like that to you?
They haven't, but I can tell, because they want to be able to do, things that the other kids do, and it kind of, all of it with him drinking and with them not being able to do some of the things that kids do, it depresses me.
That must be challenging to want more for your children, but not being able to do it by yourself.
Right.
I understand. Okay. So how are your children with your husband?
Well, they're good, but when he gets to drinking, they distance themselves, and they just don't want to be around him.
Do you have a good relationship with your children?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. What do you do for a living?
I'm an on-call social worker.
Okay.
For a local agency here in town.
Okay. All right. How does that make you feel, that social worker being your profession, but you are yet needing services?
Kind of makes me feel bad because, I spend my day trying to help people, and directing them in the right path, but at the same time, I'm having to deal with this at home. So it's kind of like you have to, preach what you teach, and, it's like I'm not following through with that because of my home life.
I understand. So you feel like you're not practicing what you preach?
At times.
Well, I can say that you are doing the best you can, so don't feel down. Don't feel like you're not practicing what you preach. You are helping other people, but it just unfortunately you are in a situation beyond your control. So don't let that beat you down or make you feel less than especially being a social worker, the super person that you are. Continue to be encouraged, and not think that, think ill of yourself because of that.
Thank you.
All right. So as far as I'm kind of concerned about you being physically abused. Has it ever been to where you thought your life was at stake?
It hadn't until I was hospitalized. I didn't know if it would I never thought it would get to that point. It had gone on for so long, but I just never imagined that it would get that bad.
So, since then, I guess the abuse hasn't been as extreme, but is there still abuse going on?
It hasn't been any really physical abuse, but the verbal abuse has not stopped.
Okay. Do you think the physical abuse may flare back up?
I do.
Maybe. So, okay. Has the injuries that you have occurred by him, are they giving you any trouble now?
No, at this point they're not. Everything seems to be going good with that.
Okay. And you says he drinks a lot. Is there something that you do with him?
No.
Do you drink? Okay. Do you drink at all?
I don't.
Okay. All right. Is he doing anything besides drinking? Anything else besides drinking? Maybe some type of drug?
I think he's. I don't have proof that of the drug, but I feel like he is on a regular basis.
Okay. You say you don't have proof. What kind of drug do you think he may be?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Okay. You think he would be willing to come in to our counseling services and talk to our marriage counselors?
I honestly can't say at this point.
Okay.
I really can't.
Okay, now tell me, what would you rather happen?
Well, I would like for him to come in and talk to someone, if he could, if he would. But if not, maybe we could work on something else that I could do, to kind of make things better.
Right. As you stated earlier that you feel depressed about certain things, not being able to provide for your children like you want to, and having to do everything by yourself. I think that is a good place for us to start, is to get you some type of therapy to help you and to see if that is a proper diagnosis, to see if depression is the diagnosis, and to get you the resources you need to help you. Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, I feel with you all having issues within your marriage because you want it to work, I feel you all should have, you should attend some counseling sessions and things like that. What do you think about that?
Sounds good.
Okay. Preferably individual and then collectively.
Mm-hmm.
Do so. Okay, that's good. All right. So to set some goals to try to help, because you did state that if it could get better, you would like to stay in the marriage. Mm-hmm. If not, you would like to get out of it. Mm-hmm. So we're always about saving the family here at Families First. So I would recommend, as we just stated, to set goals of counseling for your marriage, for yourself and for your husband, individually and together, and also have you talk to our therapist to see where you are with the depression, and if you are diagnosed with depression, maybe giving you some form of medication if you need some to help you through the day and cope and everything. Does that sound doable? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, good. I will make these referrals and we can go from there. This meeting has been great today. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
I want to let you know I admire your courage for coming. This is a step you want to save your marriage. You're being strong in that area. Are there any other questions you have for me?
No, not
other questions. Okay. Again, I want to let you know that everything we've discussed will stay between us. And if you have any other questions, from if you walk out and you want to call me, you are welcome to call me. If you feel like you would rather have another social worker, that's fine. Just call the agency and we'll do what we can do to help get you the resources you need to help you over this hump. and hopefully through our next meeting we can see progress we have made, and go from there.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you have a good day.
You too.
I will see you at our next meeting. Will next week the same time be?
That's fine. Sounds good.
All right. Well, next Tuesday at 4 o'clock, I'll see you back at the office.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.